Captain Ravindra Yadav, Paramveer Chakra, Mrs. Madhu Chitkara, Vivek, Adle, my friend, colleague, and first of all, I must compliment you, Vivek, for creating this very vibrant networking forum. HOBNOB 26. In fact, I think this is the second session or third session of HOBNOB.
Fourth or fifth.
Yeah, great session and a great initiative, I must say. I'm going to take 1 or 2 minutes extra because we just heard a very brave person who's also now a very vidwan person, if I can call him that, Yogendra Yadav. And this is a story, actual story, and I thought I must mention to you. After Yogendra Yadav and his platoon, company, battalion, 18 grenadiers, they had captured Tiger Hill. 2 days later, I went to Dras and I met the general officer commanding under whom these people came. And I asked him, I said, which was the company which reached Tiger Hill top first? And he told me, and then I asked him which was the next, which was the leading platoon. I think platoon commander Balwan Singh Thay. And then I asked him, I said, who was the first chap who went, you know, they had to climb rope and all that and reach the top. And he said, Yogendra Yadav. And that was in my mind. A few days later, when the list of awardees to be awarded came to me, you know, we have a committee which is a Gallantry Award Committee, we call that. And they finalized the list and it came to me as the chief. And I saw Paramveer Chakra ke aage Yogendra Yadav ka naam tha. So I was quite happy that his name is there and he deserves it because after these results were announced on 15th of August and after attending these ceremonies at Red Fort and all, I came back home and there I found the MS military secretary who finally, you know, finalizes these and who's supposed to announce these things. He was waiting for me at home and very serious and first thing he said, sir, आज बहुत बड़ी गलती हो गई. I said, क्या हुआ? And he said कि हमने आगे लिख दिया योगेंद्र सिंह यादव posthumous award. But that was not enough, there was something more to come. Now the list of awardees had two Yogendra Singh Yadav belonging to the same platoon who had climbed the top under the same platoon commander Balwan Singh. So he told me, he says कि सब posthumous को वीर चक्र मिलना है और जो हमने दिखा दिया है वो उसको तो परमवीर चक्र है. No, this is a big, you know, you can imagine. So I was a little upset naturally, and I told him, I said, why the hell have you done something like this? So he pulled out a letter, handwritten letter to me, and that handwritten letter was his letter of resignation. But that was not the solution really, you know. So I tore off that letter, put it in my pocket, and I said, I want to go and meet this boy now. Where is he? And I was told he's in the hospital in Delhi. So I called his colonel of the regiment, General Risky Kanu was colonel of the regiment, और उसको साथ में लेके, I think my wife also accompanied me at that time. We went to the hospital. And I asked him, I said, तुम्हारा नाम क्या है? You know, I had to be very certain. So he was in bandage all over. Yeah, 19 years. कितनी उम्र थी आपकी? 19 साल के थे. Lying on the bed, he could, you know, trying to lie Savdhan position. But there he was. But he could speak well, smiling. despite all the wounds that he had. I don't know how many bullet injuries. And so I asked him, "तुम कहाँ थे, क्या किया?" and all. And I was satisfied कि है तो ये भाई who deserves it. His wife was also there, घूंघट, but I think घूंघट के पीछे वो काफी घबरा भी रही होगी क्योंकि suddenly so many generals came वहाँ पर, and I was sitting on his bed and talking to him. And finally we corrected it because we had to correct it. There was no question. And since then I've been meeting so bravest of the brave. We didn't let that mistake carry on. We corrected that mistake that had happened. And incidentally, I must tell you that other Yadav who had, in fact, who died during the battle, he also got to be Chakra. He deserved it, and he got to be Chakra. So I come to hobnobbing. I think it's a very nice title that you have given to your foundation forum here. And all it has been explained by you earlier what hobnobbing means. But basically it's a question of interaction with each other, getting to know each other, and all kinds of mingling that takes place, exchanging of ideas, etc., etc. So hobnobbing is absolutely essential, and I want to speak a little bit about hobnobbing that happens in the on the national security affairs at both at the national level and at international level also. And it is becoming more and more important because of the IT and everything that is now, making decision making difficult also because there is too much of information, and it also helps us in taking decisions. So it has both. But then that hobnobbing is becoming more and more essential. Now before I go further, I just want to give you a definition of national security, what we mean. Not many people, they think that national security is defense. It is not defense. The definition today is the ability of a nation to use its comprehensive national power for the preservation, protection, and furtherance of its core values, national aims, and objectives. So in its broadest sense, what many people don't realize, it includes everything that a government and a society does. It includes politics. You have good politics, you have bad politics. Good politician, bad politician, but they count. It includes defense, of course. Defense is a major institution, establishment. It also includes the national economy, social sector, technology. It also includes external affairs and intelligence services and so on. So, really speaking, almost everything that a nation does has its impact on national security, and that is what I think people have to realize in India. So it is now it requires comprehensive national power. Comprehensive national power is again as achieved by all these departments that I have mentioned you. Not only defense, military is important again, but all these things that they do it comprehensively, and that gives the national power for everything. Now, once I heard correctly, our Prime Minister, he had said in some speech, he said, शांति की चाह और शांति की राह अलग नहीं होती है. So that means that whatever the nation is doing, both for its economy, for its peaceful existence, and of course, so that शांति की राह and शक्ति की राह अलग नहीं होती है. And therefore, we need today a much greater civil military fusion, hobnobbing, than we have been doing so far. And that's why I am so happy to see that there are so many military officers sitting here along with other academics and others. So this hobnobbing is important, I would say, for civil and military relationship and all. Now, unfortunately, what I have seen in the government, we tend to work in silos. Health department will not worry about what is happening elsewhere. Education department is not worried. And similarly, defense, nobody wants to come here, ye to aapka kaam hai, aap kariye. You know? So that has been going on for a very long time. And that, as far as I am concerned, has been one of the reasons why we go wrong sometimes in decision making. We do not understand the implications of a particular decision that we have taken. You understand it in your own department, but you don't understand its implication with the other departments. And as a result, that decision making goes wrong. And that is why this fusion is absolutely essential. Our hobnobbing is essential. Now, recently I came across a book, and I think it's a very good book that written by Raj Shukla. You people know him. And I'm quoting something from that book. He has written civil-military fusion, this symbiotic national power dynamic, because everything, as I said, included makes it power. This symbiotic national power dynamic needs to be a productive interplay between our temples of learning, very important, which is symbolized by goddess Saraswati, our centers of wealth creation, symbolized by our goddess Lakshmi, and our instrument of military power, symbolized by goddess Durga. So we have to make sure for our national development that we continue to have these goddesses working together for us. And then only you will have that kind of comprehensive national power. Now I'm just giving that. Now this is something which so far we have not been, because we are learning in compartments. You know, in silos we keep working and all. And I'll just take 2-3 more minutes. Don't warn me again. I want to say a little bit about the relationship between our national security and foreign policy also. I think that is important. And as they say generally, defense and foreign policy are two sides of the same coin. And I have also been hearing, and I remember once addressing the cabinet, once I told them, I said that good defense is also good foreign policy and good economics. And unless you have good defense. The point that we have to remember is that good defense is as necessary as good education and good wealth making and good our gun correspondents, our ambassadors who are dealing with the international relations. Now there is, as far as international relations is concerned, I just want to bring out some few facts that some of us need to understand. There is little room for ethics and morality in international politics. You have to be pragmatic, and Kautilya and Arthashastra both said that political realism is more important than political idealism. Many of us get lost in idealism. But when we are dealing with our international relations, it is not so. And in domestic life, we must seek what is right. In international life, we must seek what is necessary. Interest first, morality thereafter. In international politics, morality and law are products of power. We have to understand that. And that is fundamental, often cold truth of global affairs. Individuals can make moral positions on international issues. States don't have that. And I've written this and I'm bringing it out because just recently there's a debate going on, should we be talking to Pakistan or not? And that debate has been started by General Secretary of Rashtriya Sevak Sangh, whom we all thought is the most patriotic organization and all, but some of them there. But I thought that needed to be reminded. So I think that we have to remember that, like the kind of activities that are taking place. Next session is of US-Iran war, and you will realize in what interest, whose interest it was, why did they start it? There are so many questions come, because that is the kind of global politics in which we are existing today. Our nation has to work through that. So I just want to end my thoughts with 2 points. One is strengthen internal politics coherence. Our history tells us societies structured along sectarian, ethnic or regional lines are more exposed to external manipulations and internal breakdowns. Let us not divide our society and nation on the basis of caste, creed, religion and politics. Let's have more hobnobbing amongst all these people. And the second thing that I want to leave the thought with you, have credible deterrence to deal with our adversaries. Diplomatic norms do not safeguard sovereignty unless these are backed by comprehensive national power. That is what I described earlier. And the political will to impose costs on any violators that attempts that. So with that, I want to thank you, and once again, Vivek, thank you very much for getting me here, and all of you. And I think it's a great forum, and we look forward to your sessions whenever you have it. Thank you very much.